Hey everyone, got an exciting show for you today. It is Friday, and that means we talk entities, tax savings, all those questions that I refuse to answer because I am not an expert and I don't know your personal situation. So I have connected with the Nexus Group LLC and Mike Georgie to have those discussions, and they are willing to help. So how are you doing this morning, Mike?
Better than good. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing very, very well. So I know we talked a little bit before we hit the record button, and this video is going to be about those easy and yet avoidable mistakes. There are a lot of people that kind of understand the idea of, okay, great, I got to get this property into an LLC. And we've covered that in past videos. But then they go about making, frankly, mortgage payments out of their personal checking account. And as we both know, that opens up a whole can of worms. So why don't we talk about that and how easy it is to avoid doing that and the mistakes that come with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, exactly what Mike was saying. Let's start at the beginning. You have a piece of property. You set up an LLC to protect that property, protect you, and you put the property into the LLC, hopefully. For all of you who haven't put it into the property or the LLC, give us a call. We'll help you do it. But you put the property into the LLC. So step one right there, I'm just going to reiterate, we need to make sure that we have additional capitalization. Things like making sure that you have a resolution that authorizes the quitclaim or the transfer to the LLC. The additional capitalization documentation, making sure that you put that into the actual corporate books, meaning the accounting and the amount that the value of the property that when you went ahead and put it in. So step one, make sure when you're doing that transfer to the LLC, you're doing everything that you need to do correctly. Give us a call. We'll help you make sure all those things are in line. After you make that transfer though, Mike, what a lot of people do is they continue to make those mortgage payments and those debt payments out of their personal accounts. Now, here's the problem. If you were ever to get sued and you get into court and the judge asks for, or the person who's suing you, the attorney, asks for the cash flow statements, the profit and loss statement, the corporate documentation, you hand all that over, they're going to come back and say, wait a minute. So you made these payments out of your personal account, and the entity didn't make the payments themselves. And you say, well, no, because I quitclaimed the property into the LLC. Well, doesn't the LLC own that property at this point? It does. Well, then why are you making the payments? Where's the additional capitalization documentation that you need to have to make sure that that's okay? Oh, I don't have it. And so now that attorney's cut right through that LLC like a hot knife through butter, and they're coming after you personally. And so although it's one of those easy mistakes, those really simple, I just kind of made the payment, I didn't have time to transfer money, or I forgot about this expense, and it would have gone negative if I had made the payment out of the LLC, so I made it personally. All of those little things, yes, life does happen. But make sure that you take the time to correctly position those transactions, because if you don't, life's going to happen. It's going to happen in a negative way if you're ever sued.
Yeah. Again, this whole discussion is why I wanted to work with the Nexus Group LLCs, because you just have the discussion with folks, right? If life happens, yes, okay, you got to cover the payment out of your personal account. That happens. And there is a way to address that, right? So I just love that you'll have those discussions with folks and go, hey, this is what you do, 1, 2, 3. So it's very, very helpful.
Exactly. And, let's talk about life happening right now.
Yep.
I know a lot of real estate investors who have said, Mike, my renters didn't pay. I wasn't able to get some stimulus check, or I wasn't able to get funds from that type of situation. And so I went ahead and took money out of my reserves and paid for the mortgages. And I say, oh, you know what? I'm sorry that happened, but I'm glad that you had the capability to do it. Did you make the payment at the LLC or your personal account? And they say, well, Mike, I didn't have the money in the LLC. And I say, okay, well, let's go ahead and document that. Number one, if you're going to use money out of your personal account, take the money from your personal account, step one, put it in the LLC's account, then make the payment. You can decide if that additional capitalization that you put, that the business is going to pay you back. And if that's the case, there's certain circumstances I want to make sure are in place and things that are in place, especially like we talked about one other time where you have, additional umbrella policy or umbrella insurance. And so also you want to make sure you have the documentation for that type of situation. So just if you're in that situation, you went ahead and made the payment out of your personal account, or you put the money into the LLC, which is correct, and you paid for it out of the LLC, but you didn't document that capitalization or that loan, give me a call, give my company a call. We'll help you make that correct. And I was telling Mike before we came on that anyone who calls me within the next week or so, schedule an appointment in the next week or so, we're going to go ahead and do that transfer documentation at cost.
Wow. All right, just so people that are listening to this on the podcast, this is through February. Where did that come from? Through May 15th. That's a week, May 15th. So reach out to the Nexus Group LLC. How can they do that? Is it phone, email? What do you want them to do?
The best way is to go onto our website, www.nexusgroupllc.us, and you can actually schedule an appointment right on the actual website itself. So that's www.nexusgroupllc.us, or they can go ahead and give us a call. The number is 877-701-8001.
Very, very cool, Mike. Thank you for doing this. This is one of those things that life happens, especially in this environment where rents may or may not be showing up, and you don't want to ask for forbearance, so you pay it out of your personal account. Just document it, right? Just document it. You've got the LLC. You have it for a reason. It would be a shame that this event caused a cascading of things, and you're at risk of having that veil pierced by a knowledgeable attorney. So, Mike, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you, man. You stay safe, stay healthy. All right.
Hey, likewise. Thank you so much.
You got it.